Every day, we use our senses without even thinking about them. We hear people talking, see what's around us, and enjoy the taste and smell of food. These senses help us communicate, learn, stay safe, and enjoy our daily life. Hearing helps us to understand speech and sounds. Vision allows us to see clearly and move safely. The taste and smell help us to enjoy the food and know what is good or harmful to eat. Okay, now in this video, we will show common problems related to hearing, vision, and taste through everyday situation. We will explain what causes this problem and share simple ways to take care of our senses. Our goal is to help everyone understand why protecting our senses is important and how small habits can make a big difference.
This is what we studied this lesson, the structure of the ear. So, Amira, do you hear what I'm saying? Amira, did you hear me?
Sorry, sir, could you repeat that? I couldn't hear properly.
I'm asking if you can explain the function of this one, the anatomy of the ear.
I can hear you.
The anatomy of ears consists three parts: the outer ear, the middle ear, and lastly the inner ear. The outer ear consists of the pinna, auricle, whose folds and ridges to capture and localize sounds, and the external auditory canals, which channel sound waves through the tympanic membrane, a thin multilayered eardrum that vibrates in response to this wave. These vibrations are transmitted to the middle ear, an air-filled cavity containing the three ossicles, the malleus, incus, and stem, which is the smallest bone in our body. These bones amplify the sound and convey it to the oval window of the fluid-filled inner ear. The middle ear also contains the suction tube, which equalizes pressure between the middle ear and the nasopharynx. The inner ear, housed within the bony labyrinth, consists of the cochlea for hearing and the vestibular system for balance. The cochlea is a spiral structure containing the organ of Corti, where hair cells with stereocilia convert fluid vibration into the electrical signals that travels via the cochlear nerve to the brain's auditory cortex, enabling perception of pitch, loudness, and spatial location. Simultaneously, the vestibular system, including the semicircular canals, ventricles, and saccule, detects rotational and linear motion through fluid movement and oscillate shapes, transmitting this information to the cerebrum and brain stems to maintain balance and spatial orientation. Together, these structures orchestrate the complex processes that allow us to hear, interpret, and navigate our environment with remarkable precision.
But sir, how does simple sound waves become perception of music, speech, or noise that our brain understands?
Hearing is a complex physiological process that converts sound waves into the electrical signals interpretable by the brain. It begins when the pinna captures sound and directs it through the external auditory canal to the tympanic membrane, which vibrates in response to the sound's frequencies and intensity. These vibrations are transmitted to the middle ear, where the three ossicles, the malleus, incus, and stapes, amplify the mechanical energy and convey it to the oval window of the fluid-filled cochlea. Within the cochlea, fluid waves travel along the basilar membrane, which is not topically organized to respond to specific frequencies, with the high frequencies at the base and the low frequencies at the apex. The organ of the Corti, located on the basilar membrane, contains hair cells topped with stereocilia. Bending of these stereocilia opens ion channels. Depolarizing the hair cells and releasing neurotransmitters that stimulate the cochlear nerve, part of the vestibulocochlear nerve. Electrical signals then travel through the brainstem, inferior colliculus, thalamus, and the auditory cortex, where the brain interprets pitch, loudness, and the spatial location. This intricate system not only enables sound perception, but also sound localization and adaptive responses, illustrating the ear's remarkable precision in translating mechanical vibrations into neural information. Did you know the ear has another important function besides hearing?
I know. The physiology of phalanx is mediated by the vestibular system in the inner ear, which includes the three semicircular canals and the otoliths organs, the utricle and the saccule. The semicircular canals detect rotational movement through fluid called endolith. As the head rotates, the fluid lags, bending hair cells in the crista ampullaris within the ampulla, generating nerve impulse transmitted via the vestibular nerve to the brainstem and cerebellum. The ventricle and the saccule detect linear acceleration and head position relative to gravity. Hair cells in these organs are embedded in a gelatinous membrane topped with a calcium carbonate crystal called otolith. Shift in the otoliths band the stereocilia, producing electrical signals that inform the brain of motion and orientation. This information is integrated with visual and proprioceptive input to maintain posture, coordinate eye movements, and ensure stability during movement. Together, these mechanisms allow humans to perceive spatial orientation, maintain equilibrium, and execute smooth coordinate movements.
Why can't I read this clearly?
You're holding it too close.
Everything looks blurry and my eyes feel tired. Maybe I need some sleep.
Oh wait, maybe before that, you should know the anatomy of eyes first.
The human eye is a complex sensory organ responsible for vision, composed of several integrated structures that work together to capture and process light. The outer layer includes the cornea, a transparent dome-shaped structure that refracts light, and the sclera, the white protective outer coat. The middle layer, or uvea, consists of the choroid, which supplies blood to the retina. The ciliary body, which produces aqueous humor and controls lens shape for focusing, and the iris, the pigmented structure that regulates the pupil size to control the amount of light entering the eye. The innermost layer is the retina, a light-sensitive tissue containing photoreceptor cells roots, which detect low light and peripheral vision, and cones, which perceive color and fine detail. Light passes through the pupil, is focused by the lens, and traverses the vitreous humor, a gel-like substance that maintains the eye shape, before reaching the retina, where photoreceptors convert it into electrical signals. This signal travels through the optic nerve to the brain's visual cortex for interpretation. Supporting structures such as the eyelids, eyelashes, conjunctiva, and lacrimal glands protect the eye, maintain moisture, and remove debris, making the vision both precise and sustainable.
Oh, I see. May I add some point?
Sure.
Okay, next. The physiology of the eye involves capturing the light and converting it into electrical signals that the brain can interpret as vision. Light enters through the cornea, which bends and focuses it, then passes through the aqueous humor, pupil, and lens, which fine-tunes focus through accommodation by changing its shape via the ciliary muscles. The light continues through the vitreous humor to reach the retina, where photoreceptor cells, rods, and cones absorb photons. Rods are highly sensitive to low light and enable night vision, while cones detect color and provide sharp, detailed vision. The absorbed light triggers a photochemical reaction in these cells, producing a change in membrane potential that generates electrical signals. These signals are transmitted via bipolar cells and ganglion cells to the optic nerve, which carries the information to the visual cortex in the occipital lobe. There, the brain interprets light intensity, color, shape, and movement, allowing humans to perceive the environment accurately and respond appropriately. Additional mechanisms such as pupillary reflexes and lens accommodation optimize vision under varying light and distance conditions.
This food tastes really good. What does it taste like? I can't taste anything. Maybe there is something wrong with my tongue.
So, the human tongue is a highly specialized muscular organ located in the oral cavity and plays vital roles in taste perception, speech articulation, swallowing, and the early stages of digestion. Structurally, the tongue is composed of skeletal muscle fiber arranged in two groups: intrinsic muscle, which allow the tongue to change shape, and extrinsic muscle, which control its position and movement within the mouth. The dorsal surface is covered by a mucous membrane containing the different types of papillae, which house taste buds responsible for detecting the 5 basic tastes, which is sweet, sour, salty, bitter, and umami taste. This surface is anatomically divided into two anterior 2/3 and posterior 1/3 by a V-shaped groove known as the terminal sulcus. The posterior 1/3 contains lingual tonsil, which form part of the body's immune defense system. The ventral surface of the tongue is thin and highly vascular, allowing rapid absorption of substance. It is attached to the floor of the mouth by the lingual frenulum, which provides stability while permitting free movement. In terms of innervation, general sensation in the anterior 2/3 is supplied by the lingual nerve, while taste sensation in this region is transmitted by the chorda tympani nerve. The posterior 1/3 receive both taste and sensory input from glossopharyngeal nerve, and motor control of the tongue is primarily provided by the hypoglossal nerve, with assistance from the vagus nerve for muscle in the posterior region. Physiologically, the tongue plays a crucial role in manipulating food during mastication, forming the food bolus and initiating swallowing. It also transmits taste signal from taste bud to the brain, where they are interpreted to perceive flavor, influence food preference, and stimulate digestive secretion. Additionally, the tongue enables clear speech through precise, coordinated movement essential for articulation.
Did you know that smell and taste work closely together to produce flavor?
The human nose is a prominent sensory organ responsible for olfaction, respiration, and filtering of inhaled air. Anatomically, it consists of an external portion including the nostril and nasal bridge and an internal nasal cavity divided by the nasal septum. The nasal cavity is lined with mucous membrane and contains turbinates, which increase surface area to warm, humidify, and filter air. At the roof of the nasal cavity lies the olfactory epithelium, containing specialized olfactory receptor neurons that detect airborne chemical molecules. These neurons transmit signal via the olfactory nerve to the olfactory bulb and then to the brain, where odors are identified and processed. Taste and smell work closely together to create the perception of flavor, while taste buds on the tongue detect basic tastes such as sweet, sour, salty, bitter, and umami. The olfactory system provides nuanced aromatic information. During eating, volatile compounds from fruit travel retronasally from the mouth to the olfactory epithelium, allowing the brain to integrate gustatory and olfactory signals, producing the rich and complex experience of flavor that guides food preference, appetite, and enjoyment.
They are playing volleyball. How did you know? Fish, right there. What's wrong with you? I don't know, but I read that some people can't hear clearly because they have bring up middle ear infections and damage sickle, which will lose the ability to hear clearly.
That's correct. Hearing problems can happen for many reasons. and some of them develop slowly without us realizing it. To take care of your ears, try to avoid loud noises, and especially when using your headphone, lower the volume and never put sharp objects into your ears such as cotton bud. It's also important to keep your ears clean and dry and to get medical help yearly if you feel pain, ringing, or discomfort. Simple habits can help protect your hearing in the long run.
Khadija, I think my blur vision can be caused by refractive errors, eye fatigue, dry eyes, cataracts, glaucoma, retinal issues, or systemic conditions like diabetes and high blood pressure. Temporary factors such as medications, dehydration, or eye strain can also reduce visual clarity.
Oh, I agree. To keep your eyes healthy, take a spring break using the 20-20-20 rule. Ensure the proper lighting, wear sunglasses to block the UV rays, eat a vitamin-rich diet, stay hydrated, avoid rubbing your eyes, maintain hygiene, manage chronic conditions, have regular eye exam, and use the protective eyewear during the risky activities.
I can't taste anything. This may be caused by taste disorder on the tongue, such as ulcer, inflammation, swelling, or oral thrush. This problem can occur due to infection, nutrient deficiency, or nerve damage. At the same time, the nose may be affected by congestion, sinus infection, allergies, frequent nosebleed, or loss of smell caused by colds or structural problems. Since taste and smell work together, it can also reduce the ability to taste. So, by practicing good oral and nasal hygiene, staying hydrated, and avoiding irritants can help maintain both senses.
For the tongue, practice good oral hygiene, stay hydrated, avoid smoking or excessive alcohol, and treat infection promptly. For the nose, keep it clean, avoid inserting objects, protect from pollutants, manage allergies, and seek medical care for persistent issues. Proper diet and hydration support taste and smell.
In conclusion, our vision, hearing, and tongue are essential to our daily life. Vision helps us see and understand our surroundings. Hearing allows us to communicate and stay safe, while the tongue helps us enjoy food and maintain good health. Without these senses, daily activities become more challenging. Therefore, taking care of our vision, hearing, and tongue is very important. By practicing healthy habits and seeking early treatment, we can protect these senses and maintain a better quality of life.